Alright, first off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushua, Ba'Hashem, Ruach HaKodesh. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to all the Akim and the Akwaf that's down with this word in truth and sincerity, and all the Akim that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. I want to read the entire story of Susanna, because I've come across some women that's down with the doctrine, but still lacks faith and still lacks the meaning of being an Israelite woman. And obviously we know, I hear the apostles and older brothers say it all the time, ain't no righteous women, which I completely agree. So please don't misconstrue this message. But if you down, if you believe it, and you need some examples, I came across, the Akia Dequat read me this story, and then I went back and read it myself, and it's a lot of key points, mainly the point of faith in this story. And I'm gonna just read the entire story, for those who need this message. Lord's will, you come across and hear it, and bear with me with my reading. The story of Susanna, verse 1, it says, "There dwelt a man in Babylon called Josiah, and he took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Celsia, a very fair woman, and one that feared Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Her parents also were righteous and taught their daughter according to the law of Moses. Now Josiah was a great rich man, and a fair garden joining unto his house, and to him restored the Jews, because he was more honorable than all others. The same year appointed two of the ancients of the people to be judges, such as Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua spake of, that wickedness came from Babylon, from ancient judges, who seemed to govern the people." So there were two governors or two judges appointed to watch over Josiah's house. It says, "These kept much of Josiah's house, and all that had any suits in the law came unto them." So they dealt with any matter. So they was the judges, They pretty much ruled the house for Josiah. It says, "Now when the people departed away noon, Susanna went into her husband's garden to walk, and the two elders saw her going in every day and walking, so that their lust was inflamed towards her." They were lusting after her, the two judges. These judges turned to be wicked because, like the scripture said, Susanna was a fair woman. She was very beautiful, and they watched her walk every single day, these judges. It says, "And they perverted their own mind, and turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven, nor remember just judgments." So they turned away from the way of doing things, the right way. That's what it means when they turned their way from heaven. They turned their way from the words of the Most High, and it says, "No, remember just judgment." It says, "And albeit they both were wounded with her love, yet durst not one show another his grief." They both were feeling the same way about her, but they didn't say it to each other. It says, "For they were ashamed to declare their lust, that they desired to do with her." They knew it wasn't right, so they never even explained that to each other. So you have two judges watching this woman, lusting after her, like, damn, I want her, man, I want her, knowing she's a married woman. And they both had these feelings, but never even said it to each other. They kept it in, And it says, verse 13, "And the one said to the other, Let us now go home, for it's dinner time. Now it's time to leave." It says, "So when they were gone out, they departed the one from another, and turning back again, they came to the same place. And after that, they asked one another the cause. They acknowledged their lust, and appointed they a time both together when they may find her alone." Now, see what's going on is when it was time for dinner, they both left. But they plotted in their mind that they'll go back, to pretty much take their chance. Now, they both did the same exact thing and went right back to the same spot. And they was like, yo, what you doing back here? And then they both admitted to each other like they came back for Susanna. And it says, then appointed they a time both together when they might find her alone. So they came into cahoots together to plan when they're going to get her alone. It says, and it fell out as they watched a fit. It says, and it fell out as they watched a fit time. She went in before with 2 maids only, and she desired to wash herself in the garden, for it was hot. And there was nobody to save the 2 elders, that they hid themselves and watched her. So they were hiding in the garden, and her and her 2 maids went into the garden, and here's what happens. It says, then she said to her maids, bring me oil and washing balls, and shut the garden doors, that I may wash me. And they did as she bade them, and shut the garden doors, and went out themselves at privy doors to fetch the things that she commanded them. But they saw not the elders, because they were hid. Now when the maids were gone forth, the 2 elders rode up and ran unto her, saying, behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us. And we are in love with thee. Therefore consent unto us, and lie with us. So now they got Susanna corner, and they telling her the truth. Like, look, man, we really feeling you. We in love with you. We pretty much telling her their lust for her. And they saying, look, nobody can see us. Salakia, he's saying nobody can see us. So, lay with us. And it says, verse 21, if thou were not, we will bear witness against thee that a young man was with thee, and therefore thou didst send away thy maids from thee. So they try and blackmail her, corner her, saying, look, if you don't lay with us, we're going to charge you with adultery, pretty much. And that's why you sent your maids away, so you can commit adultery with some young man. So here's what Susanna said. It says, then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side. For if I do this thing, it is death unto me. And if I do not, I cannot escape your hands. Right. So she's saying, if she do this thing, if she lie with these men, that's adultery, and the Most High is going to kill her. But if she don't do it, then she's going to fall into their hands, which they are the judges. They judge every matter in that household. And she's saying, then I'm going to fall into your hands. So she's saying, damn, I'm fucked on either side pretty much. Now, Salaki. Verse 22, it says, Salaki. Verse 23, it says, it is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So she's saying, look, y'all got to do what y'all got to do. Because remember, she was, in the beginning, it says, verse 2, and he took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Celsia, a very fair woman, and one that feared Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So she feared Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Just like, the women who claim to fear the Lord today, this was a real woman, a woman that was in the spirit. And she truly feared Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And she's saying, look, I'm going to fall I'm going to deal with y'all, pretty much. Like, y'all going to have to do what y'all got to do, because I'm not sinning against the Lord, She truly feared the Lord. She feared what the Lord would do to her. She ain't feared men, It's that scripture, Matthew's. Slap it real quick. Salaki, I just gotta get this. Scriptures say, this Matthew 10:28, it says, "And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." And she understood that. You know, she didn't fear those men that can kill the body. She feared Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, who can kill both body and soul in hell. You know? So she knew the power. She knew these men didn't have more power than the Most High. You know, and that's what fearing the Lord means. You know, the beginning of fearing the Lord is understanding. You know, wisdom. It says, continuing on, it says, "With that Susanna cried with a loud voice, and the two elders cried out against her. Then ran one and opened the garden door. So when the servants of the house heard the cry of the garden, they rushed in at the privy door to see what was done unto her. But when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed, for there was never such report made against Susanna. And it came to pass the next day, when the people were assembled to her husband Josiah, the two elders came also full of mischievous imaginations against Susanna to put her to death, and said before the people, Send for Susanna, the daughter of Selsia, Josiah's wife. And so they sent. So she came with her father and mother, and her father, mother, her children, and all her kindred. Now Susanna was a very delicate woman and beauteous to behold. And these wicked men commanded to uncover her face, for she was covered. You know, and that's another thing. She was covered. You know, she knew how to. That's just another example of being a righteous woman. You know, she knew how to cover up. You know, she was delicate. You know, she was a delicate woman. It says that they may be filled with her beauty. Therefore her friends and all that saw her wept. Then the two elders stood up in the midst of the people and laid their hands upon her head. And she weeping, now she's about to be put to death in front of all the people. And that's what the penalty of an adulterer, you know, that's what happens to an adulterer. You know, you get put to death before all the people. You know, and the people, you know, were pretty much weeping and mourning for her, you know, because, you know, they loved her. And she was weeping as well. It says, and she was weeping and looked towards the heavens. Yeah, it says, and she was weeping, looked up towards heaven, for her heart trusted in Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai. And the elders said, as she walked into the garden alone, this woman came in with two maids and shut the garden doors and sent the maids away. Then the young man who there was hid came unto her and lay with her. Then we stood in a corner of the garden, seeing this wickedness ran unto them. And when we saw them together, the man we could not hold, for he was stronger than we, and opened the door and leaped out. But having this woman, we asked who the young man was, but she would not tell us. These things do we testify. Then the assembly believed them as those that were the elders and judges of the people. So they commanded her to death. Now the sentence, now they made their case against her, and now the order is for her to be put to death. Now she's charged with the adultery, you know. Now remember, she was weeping and looked towards the heaven, for she had trusted in Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai. Now, if you go to Sirach, the second chapter, 2 and 10, get that real quick. Let's see where we at. Just Sirach 2 and 10, it says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? These are rhetorical questions, because everyone that truly believed and feared in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua was delivered one way or another. You know? You know? Salakia. Now, this verse 42, it says, Then Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, O everlasting power, that knowest the secrets and knowest all things before they be. Thou knowest that they have borne false witness against me, and behold, I must die, whereas I never did such a thing as these men has maliciously invented against me. And yet Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua heard her voice. Therefore she was led to be put to death. Therefore, when she was led to be put to death, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua raised up the Holy Spirit of a young youth whose name was Daniel. That's the prophet Daniel. It says, who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman. Then all the people turned towards him and said, What mean these words that thou hast spoken? So he standing in the midst of them, Are ye such fools, ye sons of Israel, that without examination or knowledge of the truth ye have condemned a daughter of Israel? Return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her. Now, it says Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua put the spirit on him to do this. Now, the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is on Daniel to have discernment to figure out the truth of this matter. And here's what he did. It says, Wherefore all the people turned again in haste, and the elder said unto him, Come sit down among us, and show it us, seeing the Most High have given thee the honor of an elder. Then Daniel said unto them, Put these two aside far from another, and I will examine them. So he's saying, separate these judges and let me examine them, meaning let me interrogate them in our terms. You know, so Daniel sat and interrogated them, and this is what he did. It says, So when they were put asunder from another, he called one of them and said unto him, O thou that art waxing old in wickedness, now thy sins which thou hast committed aforetime are come to light. For thou hast pronounced a false judgment, and hast condemned the innocent, and hast let the guilty go free. Albeit Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua saith, The innocent and the righteous shalt thou not slay. Now then, if thou hast seen her, tell me, under what tree sawest thou them companying together, who answered under a mystic tree? So pretty much Daniel asked one of the judges, so she was in the garden, they were in the corner watching her with this young man, what tree was she under? And this judge said, a mystic tree. And Daniel said, Very well, thou hast lied against thine own head, for even now the angel of the Most High have received the sentence of the Most High to cut thee in two. Right, so he said the Most High pretty much put the spirit on them to cut them in two, to figure out if they will keep their, you know, if you're not lying, the other judge is going to say the same tree, pretty much. So, verse 56, it says, So he put him aside and commanded to bring the other, and said unto him, O thou seed of Shagana, and not of Judah, beauty have deceived thee, and lust have perverted thine heart. Thus have ye dwelt with the daughter of Israel, and they for fear company with you. But the daughter of Judah will not abide your wickedness. Therefore tell me, under what tree didst thou take them companying together, whose answer under a home tree? Now, this judge answered a different tree. So what happened was, the Most High put the spirit on Daniel to catch them in a lie, to now free up Susanna. You know, and here's what happened. It says, Then said Daniel unto him, While thou hast lied against thine own head, for the angel of the Most High waited with the sword to cut thee in two, that he may destroy you. With that all the assembly cried out with a loud voice and praised the Most High, who saveth them that trust in him. Who saveth them that trust in him. You know? So for the women out there that say they believe, number one, you're supposed to be faithful to your man. To a man that fear the Most High. You know? And if no matter what happened, you continue to fear the words of the Lord. And if you truly believe in the words of the Lord, you're going to be delivered throughout all situations. You know? She never seen the Lord. You know? She never sat down and talked to the Most High. But she believed. She had faith, man. You know? Let me get that. This is Hebrews 11:1. It says, Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Right. It's the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We can't see the Most High, but we believe. We hope for him to be true. It's the substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of things not seen. And that's the point of this story, man. She believed in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, therefore she was delivered. You know? And that's why you're supposed to follow a man of the Lord, because he gonna show you the right way. For that's the order. You know? For the head of Yahushua is the Most High, and the head of the man is Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man. And you're supposed to have faith in the words of the Lord. That's the words of the Lord. You know? Just like Susanna did. You know? She was in a lose-lose situation. There was no way she could seemingly get out of it. And then out of nowhere, Daniel pop up and deliver her out of this situation through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. It says, And they rose up against the two elders, for Daniel have convicted them of false witness by their own mouth. And according to the law of Moses, they did unto them in such sort as they maliciously intended to do to their neighbor, and put them to death. Thus the innocent blood was saved the same day. Therefore Selcia and his wife praised the Most High for their daughter Susanna, with Josiam her husband, and all kindred, because there was no dishonesty found in her. For that day forth Daniel had the people. From that day forth was Daniel had in great reputation in the sight of the people. So not only was Susanna left with a good report, Daniel left off with a good reputation for doing good unto the righteous. You know, and that's just a short story. You know, Lord willing, whomever this is for, Lord's willing, I titled this video, A True Example of a Righteous Woman. You know, and whomever that may be for, Lord willing, if you a true aqua, meaning a sister, and it's true, you hold down your man, or you hold down a man of the Lord if you don't have one. You know, and Lord willing, you may be saved. You know, but you know, with the conversations I've had with some women that so-called believe, you gotta gird up your mind and obtain some faith in this thing. You know, you gotta start to read and believe in the scriptures, because there's many more examples of righteous women in the scriptures that's Israelites. But you know, that's all I had. You know, it's a good story. You know, you can read it on your own to build up your own faith. But I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Ruach HaKodesh. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders up in Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to all the Akim that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.